Thank you so much, Jay. Well, I can promise you there won't be any math during my presentation. That was impressive. Wow, I had to follow that. My God, nerves. Listen, you guys made it to the end. Congratulate yourselves. This is the last panel. The dinner's right around the corner. Just to loosen it up, shake it up. Can everyone just stand up for a second, right? You've all been sitting for so long. Just stand up. Stand up, shake it out a little bit, shake it out, get loose, and then give a round of applause to all the camera people, to Jay, to our lovely hosts. Give it up. They've been working hard the whole time. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, my name is Matthew. I'm here to talk to you about something, the unconventional route of starting a business. You guys have heard a lot of great stories about how easy it is to go out, because it's always easy just to go out and get a $10 million check from a venture capitalist, right? Yes? Maybe not? Okay, well, our story did not include that at all. In fact, our story was we had the idea when nobody was writing checks to anybody. But what does that mean? Does that mean you can't still have a business? Does that mean you can't still go out and be an entrepreneur just because you didn't raise a bunch of money? Absolutely not. Can I kick over to the next slide, guys? Okay, in my short time today, I have three. I hate slides, by the way, so I was really almost against even doing a slide, but I felt this information so critical, I wanted you guys to have it. I wanted to put together just one and only slide that could impart wisdom that I've gained over the last 10 years of building a business from scratch with zero outside capital. Actually, I want to say one quick thing. Do we have any young, aspiring female entrepreneurs in the audience today? Show of hands, yes, see them around? Okay, our company, AdSemble, would like to give the female entrepreneurs 1 week of free advertising on a major billboard on the highway for your business. Okay? Yes. Yes, we need more women entrepreneurs, especially here in Silicon Valley. So that's my Twitter handle, that's my Instagram, that's everything. Direct message me and someone from our team will set that up for you to promote your business. We want to help, especially the female entrepreneurs, have massive success here in Silicon Valley. Okay. The Bootstrap Survival Kit. Take a picture of this. If you're going to start a business and you don't end up raising money, it will help you. There are three core components that I have learned over my time in building a business that are critical, mission critical to you having success. In no particular order, they are relationships, game plan, and self-awareness. Let's talk about the first one being vision. You got to have a game plan. You got to know what it is you're doing. We heard some great stories today all throughout the conference. I loved just the gentleman a little while ago with the shoes startup. Great idea. He had a vision. He had a plan. He was going to buy shoes for $100, turn around and sell them for $250, right? So he had a way to make a profit. He knew what it was valuable. He knew that there was a market for it. So if you're creating a business, start by asking yourself questions about things that you're passionate about, right? And then make sure that there's a need there in the market that you can actually turn something around and make a profit from it. That is fundamentally a business. Okay, so vision is in three parts. When you're just getting started, you need to know your idea, right? You need to know what it is you want to do. The second part of that vision is you have to know what the day-to-day looks like. Okay, what are you waking up every single day to get the ball down the field a little tiny bit each day to score a touchdown, right? That's your kind of immediate vision. But then you need to be able to speak to the long-term vision. What is your end game goal for why you're building this big business? Are you trying to be the next, Mark Zuckerberg? Are you trying to grow something from nothing to $1 billion? Or maybe you're just trying to solve a tiny problem and you want to get it so far and that's going to happen within a certain number of years. So you got to have vision for the idea, vision for the right now, and vision for the future. Now, once you have that vision, you got to know who you are. Self-awareness is key. I believe that every single person in this room has two kinds of parts to them. They have their best performing self where everything they touch turns to gold. And then they have another version where this excuse, that excuse, my cousin is holding me back. My financial situation's holding me back. My weight is holding me back, right? We have excuses, right? We make up reasons why we're not really hitting it on all cylinders. So self-awareness is key. You need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? What do I stand for? What's my beliefs? I will personally tell you that, my religion, my Christian beliefs is huge for me. It's how I live a lot of my life, all of my life, in fact. I also love sports. I also love educating people. I love doing events like this. I was so honored to be asked by Jay to come up here on stage today because I love talking to people about my story, and hopefully my story can inspire you, right? So we all have something where we have to look in the mirror and notate down who we are, what we stand for, what we're passionate about. Why is that? Has anyone ever met anyone who was super fake when you met them, right? They try to tell you a story, they try to come at you and present something, and you could just tell this is not this real person's thing. This is not who they really are. This is a facade. This is a fake, a false front. Any show of hands, anybody ever run into something like that? Yeah, okay. All right. If you're gonna bootstrap your business, that inherently means you're gonna have to go out and talk to people about your product, your idea, and you're gonna have to sell them on it. But when you're trying to sell something to somebody else, it's very hard to sell it if that person receiving the message receives you as someone who's fake, who's not really about the cause, not really about the thing. Okay? So how you overcome fakeness is by being real. And how you become real is by first looking in the mirror and saying, who am I? What do I stand for? So once you've identified that to yourself, you can confidently go out and talk about the vision. Talk about the idea, what you need to get started right now, and what the long-term game plan is. So those two things are very closely interconnected. And the last one I have for you guys is relationships. Okay? There's a fake idea that the only type of transaction that can ever take place is a monetary transaction where some amount of money exchanges hands for something else. Who here has ever struck a deal with a friend or a family member where no money was involved, but you performed some sort of service or some sort of kind act and they did something in return? Has anyone here ever done something like that? Yeah? Okay? Right. So when I first started my business and I had no financial backing, I had to immediately think outside the box of how I could bring people into my universe and have them help me move the ball down the field a little bit. Let me use an example. I had a buddy who worked in cell phones, okay? Cell phones, right? I asked him, I said, hey, I'm trying to put together this website. Would you want to sit with me at Starbucks every Friday night for an hour when you get done with work and learn how to code? Because I couldn't afford coders, so I had to learn how to program myself. I went to school for business management, okay? So you're not looking at a developer, but I taught myself how to write basic code, HTML, Ruby on Rails, all these things, because I understood that was going to be a side function of our product. So I knew if I could double my effort, we could get there faster. So I asked my buddy, would you like to learn how to code with me Friday nights for 1 or 2 hours every week? He said yes. Him and I rolled up our sleeves and we started teaching ourselves coding at Starbucks until they'd kick us out. Okay? That's the level of dedication you have to be at. You have to be willing to do strange, crazy things. What was his benefit? He wasn't getting paid, but he desperately wanted to get out of selling cell phones. Okay, he wanted to learn a new skill set. So because him and I were kind of in it together, that was an encouraging thing for him to sit with me and learn how to become a developer. And now all these years later, he's actually a senior web developer, which is remarkable. But that's one example, right? I have another friend that's really, really good in graphics, okay? So I asked him, I said, hey, if I wash your car, would you build a PDF graphic for me that shows off what my product is with your graphic design skills? He said yes, he would do that. All right? Okay, no money changing hands, just acts of kindness going back and forth, right? Recruiting people, loving on people. Now, relationships, similar to vision, have 3 stages. When you're first getting started, your relationships are very transactional like that. I'll do something for you, you do something for me. Then as you grow up a little bit, you get a few dollars in the bank, okay? You remember the people that helped you out when you had nothing. And this could be family members, could be friends, etc. You go back, those people are gonna remember that they started with you when you had nothing. And then you guys are kind of coming up together. So fast forward for us, 2 or 3 years down the road, we had some money in the bank. I went back to my friend who learned how to be a programmer. I went back to my friend who made graphic design for me. And I said, listen, I can't pay you a lot of money, but I can give you maybe $13 an hour for 4 or 5 hours a week. Is that cool? Absolutely. Thank you so much. right? And so bootstrapping a business doesn't follow a conventional route, okay? You do these kind of things, and then the third stage of relationships is when you hit it really big and you get that first $1 million contract. Again, you've been building a track record with all these people that have known you, and they were with you when you had nothing. How many people in this room know that it's a pretty good feeling to be surrounded by people that were there for you when you had nothing, before you had everything, right? Anybody believe that? Okay. Does anybody like it when just someone shows up and you have everything already, you already got a mansion and a Ferrari and all this stuff? It's like, hey, Matthew, I'm in with you, man. I'm your best friend. It's like, wait a minute. Where were you when I had my Honda that was broken down and I had no place to live? What's up? Okay? So it's always really good when you bootstrap a business to start with people that you met. I'll tell you about a relationship right now in real time that's happening. Jay right over here, she was phenomenal. She organized this whole thing, amazing customer service and staying informed with me about this whole process. That's another relationship right there, right? I'm super indebted to Jay for bringing me up on stage. Thank you so much, Jay. So yes, give her a round of applause. She's awesome. All right, the last thing I want to touch upon in a few minutes here, I want you guys to get out of here. I know you're starving and hungry, but I want to say that there's another thing in Silicon Valley, which is, all money is good money. And I'm going to say something right now. It'll probably you guys might tweet about it later. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to say right now that most money in Silicon Valley is very dangerous for you to take if you're a young entrepreneur. So I'm going to strongly caution you, if you have a really great idea. I'm talking about the next Facebook, okay? Most venture capitalists and angel investors in Silicon Valley are looking to align themselves with the next big thing that's going to make them look good to their limited partners and et cetera, et cetera. There's a very small group out there that actually care about you. They care about, is this really going to be the next big thing? And if so, how do I get a piece of it? How do I get in on it? Okay, you got to watch out. I can speak from this experience because I've had what I will call snakes in the grass try to come up on our company when we started doing really well, and they wanted a piece of it, and I was having none of it. Because again, go back to where were you back in 2008 when I came knocking on your door? You didn't want anything to do with us then, okay? So my cautionary tale for younger entrepreneurs, lean on your circle of trust. This is going to be your family, your mother, your father, the people closest to you that actually love you and care about you before you were anything. Lean on them and lean on your gut. If someone comes along saying, hey, I love that idea that you created. I'd like to give you $1 million. Just give me 30% ownership in the company. Everyone here seen this TV show Shark Tank? Okay. Yeah, the TV show looks really cool, right? But what happens if Mark Cuban gives you $1 million and you tell Mark Cuban, hey, I'm going to start making money in 6 months? What happens if you don't start making him money in 6 months? Mark Cuban's going to come knocking on the door going, hey man, love filming the TV show with you, but you didn't make that money you told me you were going to make. So now I own part of your business, so you basically work for me, and now you're either going to do something different or I'm going to fire you from your own company and put someone else in who can make the money that was promised to me. Does that make sense, right? Investors, they're not just handing out free checks with no kind of recourse. It's a glorified loan. I really want you guys, your younger entrepreneurs, to understand that, okay? It's a glorified loan, and there's very few investors that actually care about you that I've come across in my 10 years of being, I was born and raised in Silicon Valley, so I've seen a lot, and I've seen a lot of friends get very badly burned. So in my last few seconds here, I'm just advising you, think carefully on that, lean on your friends and family, especially your parents. They have your best interest at heart, younger entrepreneurs, and don't forget, I'm a living, breathing example that you can be your own boss for real, and you can create your own business for real if you adhere to some very basic survival kit skills. And I'm always available. Tweet at me, reach out to me. I would love to talk with you about your business. Female entrepreneurs, our company would like to give you that free week of billboard advertising. So please follow me on that. And Jay, again, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.